All right, today we're going to do a deep dive, a market analysis of what looks like a major turning point in autonomous driving. We're going to cut through the noise and look at the hard signals, coming right from the factory floor and from public data that suggests Tesla's robotaxi plan is hitting its final phase. Let's break down the evidence.
So just take a look at this. No steering wheel, no pedals. This isn't some far-off concept sketch. This is what's literally being built at Giga Texas right now. And this points to a massive strategic shift. You see, we're not talking about modifying existing cars anymore. This is a machine built for one purpose and one purpose only. From an analyst's perspective, that changes the entire economic model of this business. Our analysis really starts with a crystal-clear signal coming straight from the factory. Recent drone flyovers of Giga Texas have given us a look at a crucial development, one that points directly to them being ready for large-scale production. Okay, this slide really shows you that engineering transition in action. On the left, you've got the test mules. I mean, look at them. Crude, bolted-on steering wheels, basically just designed for engineers to gather data. But then, on the right, you see the production Cybercabs. Sleek, no manual controls, and they're staged for transport. The big takeaway here is the move from a data-gathering tool to an actual deployable asset. You know, the speed of this hardware shift is a really critical market signal. When you see a company move this fast from a test vehicle to a finished production unit, it tells you a few things. It says the design is locked, huge amounts of money have been committed, and there's a very high degree of confidence in the final product.
So let's just think about how compressed this timeline is. We're talking about a matter of days between seeing a whole fleet of these test vehicles collecting data and then seeing finished, production-ready vehicles lined up to ship out. This strongly suggests the design is done. This is the final hardware, and it's being prepped for mass deployment.
Now, this big hardware push at the factory, well, it's not happening in a vacuum. It's directly connected to the really aggressive service launches we are now starting to see out on public roads.
So Tesla just fired up its Robotaxi service in Dallas and Houston. But there's a huge difference compared to their Austin launch. Both of these new cities went live with zero human supervision, right from day one. No safety driver, no monitor in the passenger seat. That's a major strategic shift. It signals a whole new level of confidence. They basically believe the system is ready to go, right out of the box.
So you have to ask, where does that confidence come from? It's not just a gut feeling. From a market analyst's point of view, this is a calculated risk, and it's backed by two really key pillars of data: safety and cost.
Let's start with safety. According to NHTSA data, Tesla's unsupervised fleet has reported exactly 0 incidents. Now compare that to 58 for Waymo and 3 for Zoox in the same period, and yes, we have to note Tesla's fleet is smaller right now, but a 0 incident record? That is an incredibly powerful data point both for regulators and for the public. It massively de-risks this whole launch phase. And here's the other side of the equation, the economics. Early data from Dallas showed a 2.25-mile trip costing just over $6. That's about 56% cheaper than a comparable ride from a competitor. And this gets right to the heart of why that purpose-built Cybercab is such a big deal. It's not a modified passenger car. It's a machine optimized from the ground up for low-cost, high-use service. Okay, so we've got the hardware, we've got the initial service data, but what's the long-term engine that's actually going to power this network at a global scale? To understand that, we have to look at the foundational technology investments being made right now.
To really get the next step, you need to understand this term, tape-out. In the simplest terms, it's a point of no return for a computer chip design. It means the blueprints are done, they're finalized, and they've been sent to the factory to be built. It is a massive commitment that basically says, we're ready to build this thing at scale.
And this is so significant because Tesla has confirmed their next-generation AI5 chip has officially taped out. This chip is going to be the brain of the future network. It promises a huge leap in computing power. And with production slated for late 2026, it shows they're making the long-term R&D investment today to lock in a computational advantage for years to come. So from the outside, the progress might look kind of linear. Right now, the market sees 2 new unsupervised cities that have been launched. That's a big deal for sure, but it seems like an incremental step. But this slide, this reveals the real strategy, and it is anything but linear. While only 2 cities are live, all the operational groundwork, we're talking hiring, mapping, dealing with regulators, that's all happening in 39 cities at the same time. This isn't a one-by-one rollout, this is the infrastructure for a massive, parallel, multi-market launch designed to scale like crazy as soon as the fleet is ready.
So, when you put all of this evidence together, the dedicated hardware,
The aggressive launch strategy, the data backing it up, the next-gen tech in the pipeline, and this parallel scaling plan, you can finally start to assess the real long-term market play and just how disruptive it could be.
And this is really the core of our analysis. Building the Cybercab isn't just an engineering choice. It is a strategic declaration. The whole point is to fundamentally change the unit economics of autonomous transport. It's about creating a competitive moat based on manufacturing efficiency and low operational cost, a moat that's going to be incredibly difficult for anyone else to cross.
So, we'll end with this question for you. All the signals from the factory and all the data from the streets seem to be pointing in one direction. The question isn't really if this technology will arrive anymore. It's what happens to our cities, to our economy, and to our daily lives when it does. And that is what the market is desperately trying to price in right now.